Alright, spending the morning here at the schooner head again, and the sun probably won't come up because it's foggy, it's cloudy, the fog is rolling in, but still nice moody shot I can get. So yeah, just take it easy this morning. Figure maybe a bit of a contrast from the one I took the first morning I was here. So, see what we got. Yep. As I suspected, it was pretty cool to see the fog slowly roll in from the northwest and a big cruise ship go right into it. At a pretty low horn. But you know, hearing the buoy bells again. Oh, it's lovely. Even though the shots are kind of flat and moody, I'll make them a little more punchy, I guess, in the editing room. But yeah, now I'm gonna go ahead and get breakfast and then drive over to the most eastern point in the US. And so I made my way past what I liked to call the Misty Mountains of the island and onto the main road of the mainland. And I have to say, at least for me personally, my feelings of no blue sky in the morning and fog that lasts a really long time, it just works, and it makes me feel very at ease and very peaceful to combine the light fog with the tall pines and tall fir trees in the area. I know it's kind of flat and dull on one hand, but on the other, it stopped being about the composition for me and just started being about the feeling of it. So after the first, few, maybe 10 miles of driving on the main road, I noticed a pull-off onto a boat ramp near a couple of houses. It could have been a secluded neighborhood. And I thought I heard a moose in the distance, but of course, again, I didn't see anything. But all of a sudden, I say the mood was the main attraction for me on the road, but I look out into this bit of water and I'm like, aha, here's where the composition strikes. And then a few more miles, and I found another turnoff where I initially planned to pull off here to scout around in case the northern lights were to happen, but by this point I just wrote it off. I knew it wasn't going to happen. However, it does make for another nice panorama shot in the peace and quiet. Alright, getting back onto the road, past some more small towns. I love the New England vibe. Just the houses, they look right to me. So I turn a bit south to go along, to get a little closer to the coast. And of course, I didn't even realize I was passing right by a national cemetery, because at first I was like, what are all these flags doing here? I don't want to make assumptions. And then I looked to my left, I was like, oh, a national cemetery. Okay, that makes sense now. And then, in the flat, dull light, still heavy fog around midday, but I made it to the lighthouse. Mosquitoes are still here on the eastern edge, but I have made it to the West Quoddy Lighthouse, the most eastern point in the U.S. Made it to the edge, Ma. It's nice, but yeah, the fog is, it is what it is. But I love it. May look around, with the moody fog, it might do pretty well to, I think, get some close-ups of anything. But apart from the light, there's not much to get. But hey, cross out the bucket list. And then drive down the road a bit over the border. Legend has it when you're right by the border and you say the word Canada, yep, you hear it. For what it's worth, some people may find it simple, but for me, it was just one of those feelings of, all right, I made it. I'm right here to one of the coolest lighthouses I've wanted to see. I didn't mind that they had some scaffolding along the coast. It's right by the sea air and the salt water, so of course they have to do the upkeep. Then made it over the bridge from Lubeck and on to Campobello Island. And as expected, Campobello Island looks a lot like Maine. Although there is a hint of maple in the air. But I definitely commend the folks on the island in the little park here with the Roosevelt summer home. They upkeep the grounds very nice. The grass and the flowers, it's beautiful all the time. And not to focus on photos inside the home, but to be able to walk around the Roosevelt summer home, I thought it was cool to take it all in, get a bit of history, because as you know, that's part of what I do. All right, well, made it over to Canada. All right. And New Brunswick is beautiful, but then I've only driven to Campobello State Park and the Roosevelts cottage summer home behind me where Franklin lived and died. What kind of video would I be making if it didn't include some history? So I just walked up and they said, hey, you want to get on the tour? It just started. I'm like, okay. And it's free. Like, yeah. Americans, we love free. But this whole, this island, or at least the state park, is, a joint effort by Americans and Canadians. So yeah, I may go check out a couple of more spots. And these cottages and buildings just make for great architecture too. So yeah, I'll spend a couple of minutes here before, making my way back. And the sun is starting to come out. It's still hazy though. I can see a faint hint of blue behind some of the clouds, but ooh, this is gonna be it's a day of fog. So even though it was a day of fog, it was pretty cool to see from here, from the edge, the fog starting to drift past the water where the islands or the mainland was. So I can say I got to see the fog rolling in and I got to see the fog rolling out. Okie dokie, figured I haven't touched the Atlantic since I've been up here, and I see this and I figure, well, might as well touch it while I'm in Canada. I swear to God. That would actually make for a pretty good shot now that I turn the camera around. It's a shame it's a little hazy, but we can fix that. All right. Whew. I have touched Canadian waters. Pretty cool. I don't see much underneath the seaweed grass, but that tide or the flow is just coming in under the bridge. Alright, well, there's Lubeck, America, in the background. Seriously, does that happen? Oh, I guess it works both ways. And here we are still in New Brunswick. Nope, not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent. And behind me is Mulholland Point. It's a nice one. The other one's down that way. Well, West Quaddy is down that way somewhere. I can't see it from here, but yeah, Mulholland Point Lighthouse. Yeah, all right, get this, then start heading on back to the States of America. And after that fun, decided to head back to Bar Harbor, or at least head back to the island. But I stopped by a small little town called Columbus, and I will say, if you're looking for anything blueberries, whether it's stuff to buy to take back, that is definitely the place and you can't miss it. But what was really funny to me is the two ladies running the store are both from Texas. One of them right on the other side of town where I'm from. So I can't find great weather, but somehow I can always find my fellow Texans. And just for kicks, I decided to check out the part of Acadia on the mainland before I drove to the island. And the rocks along the coast, it's very spacious and a lot for people to walk around. It's very peaceful, but this, just to look down in here, was amazing, but definitely had to be careful or else you would not be seeing this video. The more I hung around the area, though, the more I started getting ideas and starting to think, there's something about crashing waves. Maybe it's because I don't get to see as much of it back home, but here, and it's so clear, it's so blue, and I can definitely see why. It became glaringly obvious to me why, folks like capturing seascape or landscapes with really high crashing waves, because no two are ever the same, and it became pretty cool to put in slow motion as well. This is what I would call effective B-roll. But I was also able to get one more lighthouse in the distance, and I was happy with today, even though not everything will look as vibrant, but if you go away with something and you're happy with the photos, that's all that matters. With that, I will say thank you very much for watching this one. Tomorrow, I may get something from up in the air, if I can, and then we'll head back to Portland for a nice relaxing last evening. So thank y'all very much for watching. Y'all be excellent, and I will see you in the next one.